Speaking of the interior design industry, it is almost impossible talking about the opportunities it offers without talking about the expanding real estate industry. Reason being, with the rise in new buildings here and there, comes a growing demand for professional interior design services. That's why on today's episode, we'll be speaking with a professional in the field of interior design that will be giving us an insightful analysis into the industry and the opportunities it offers to be entrepreneurs and investors alike. I'll be speaking with Mrs. Olufunlola Ifebugun. She's the MD, CEO, Bloomsoft Furnishing and Gifts. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. First off, let's just make it very brief and simple. What is interior design? Because people throw the word around. I'm an interior decor, interior design this, interior design that. So what is interior design?
Interior design is an art, right? And science of understanding people's behavior and creating their space using aesthetics and ensuring functionality. Interior design, just like you mentioned, everybody talked about interior design, just if you really have an understanding, because it involves the space in a building, how it is being, things are being put together to make it beautiful, adding decorations, using colors, elements, space, line, texture. At the end of the day, when an interior design is finished with a building, you know that this is a professional job. So that's it, using colors, just like we have like here, we do a lot of creating spaces, ensuring our works work with the functionality of the space.
You mentioned something about behavior. So does the behavior have to do with the space or the behavior of the person that occupies or owns the space?
Well, it's all encompassing, because even as an interior designer, when you talk to your clients, you want to have an idea of the temperament the client has. At times we feel, oh, this is nice, this would be nice, but you see, you need to work with your client to ensure that whatever you are designing or whatever proposition that you have, it flows with your customer, with your client. So it also involves behavior. And also when you talk about colors, there's some colors that speak. You have loud colors, you have bold red. So some people are not inclined to bold colors. So we ensure that we work with their terms. Then also the color, once again, because I love colors, involves the color of the room, right, can have an effect on the outlook. Take for example, you have white. White makes a room look big. Do you understand? Whereas red makes, or dark colors make the space look small. So those are the things that is relevant that we need to let the client know or to explain to them.
So are there types of interior design?
Well, interior design, it's all encompassing. And interior design, you talk about lighting, you talk about the soft furnishing. This is soft furnishing. You have throw pillows, floor pillows, beddings, and so it's also all encompassing. And then you also talk about walls. Like this, you have walls. You can have wall cladding. You can have wallpaper, anything wall. So it's just part of it. Those are the finishes. Then you have the ceiling, the roof. It's a totality of things. You have plants. You have planters, plants and platters. You have even furniture. So those are the things that it's all encompassing when you talk about the design. It's a totality of everything.
Yeah. So how long have you been in this business?
I've been in this business for over 25 years.
Ooh, that's a lot of time.
Yes.
So okay, let's go to the opportunities that actually drove you into this kind of business. And I'm aware that you're into the soft, furnishing part of interior design.
Yes.
So what opportunities did you see 25 years ago, that made you venture into this business?
Yes, one I've been passionate about decorating, designing, putting some things together. So that's one passion, really drew me into interior design. And then also I realized that many people, you go to people's houses and like all I think of is this should have been done better. Arrangement. And like, oh, why don't you just turn it this way? Or I go to spaces and like, okay, this is not. So why? Because people don't really, they're not, in those days, they're not particular about what is in the space. They're just particular about the building. Oh, the building is beautiful. So when it comes to curtains and blinds, oh no, they're not interested. So lately, the consciousness of having a good space is now getting, the awareness of interior is really getting on the increase. So it was actually passion that took me there, and then the opportunities of like helping others, making impact, making a space look better.
All right. How do you come up with your designs? Do you sit down and God just shows it to you? How do you come up with that?
I'm a very, very I'm a creative person, very, very creative, and most of the time I look at. I'm watching the television, right? I'm not even listening or concentrating on what is happening. Maybe like a video, right? All I'm looking at is how they're creating this. Oh, it should have been done this way. If I have an opportunity to do such, I will do it in another way. So I just keep creating, and then I go out a lot. I go out for exhibitions. So when you get exposed.
Yeah, speaking about production, how do you source for your product?
Yeah, products. Well, initially I travel out of the country to get some fabrics and then I make, but I realized that of course we have some on ground. So at times I go to the local market. The Mushin is there, Tejosho. I mean, that's our local market here. And then you can always improvise.
That means the FX and everything going on in Nigeria is not affecting.
Yeah. Yes, it is to an extent, but you can, well, just like I said, have reduced, cost of bringing in things. I take time to go to the local market and put some things together. I take time to use also things that are okay. Now I'm mixing this interior. Like I said, we have a lot of things that we do. It's all encompassing crafts, using waste. Now that's waste things to create some crafts. Maybe if you have time, we'll just show you some crafts like this. There's this thing that's standing that is just made with wood. I mean, with carton. Carton is a waste that you just throw away. We just create it and use it to create an anti-room design. Like this dollar that we have here is being used. It's like, so you see that, you won't know it is just carton and wallpaper. And then, oh wow, where did you buy this? No, we make them here. So it's not just we just buy and then sell. And so creativity has always been what is actually keeping us going, using those items.
Let's talk about the profitability of the business. Now, this is the part where every business now tries to run. So, how profitable is the business?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it is profitable. It is profitable, and it's worth actually investing in. One thing, people. It is exactly profitable. There are two different dimensions of this interior. There are interior designers and there are some interior suppliers. So people travel, maybe they go out of the country, bring sofas, bring interior decorations, and then they sell. They make profit. Okay, but an interior designer is like a consultant. They don't have to sell. So there's a premium that you pay when you have a consultant. You don't need to go and buy, trade like that. It's the brain.
All right, you mentioned something. You said the business is worth investing on. So for a startup, someone who wants to start up this business, like on an average, is actually enough to invest in.
Just like I said, I actually started with 5,000 naira.
Okay, that was 25 years ago.
That was many years ago, yeah. But I actually made some beddings and all that. That was how I started.
Okay.
But it's investment, just like I said. If you're an interior designer, you might not even need anything to invest. You have invested on your own experiences, personal experience. You're certified, so you can be a consultant.
For people who want to venture into this kind of business, what form of advice do you have for them?
I'll advise on the job, learning. Look at buildings. You have a lot, just like you said, there are a lot of buildings around now. You just go in and check how things are being fixed. So it gives you a broad view of what you're, and then you just get excited. But when you learn something new and you now see it play out in homes or in offices, so it's just, you just have to learn. There is no shortcut.